Hey guys, what's going on? This is BJ from Real World Guitar, and I want to talk to you today about the only thing that you need to know in order to learn your entire fretboard. Alright, so if that sounds a little clickbaity, it probably is, but at the same time, it is absolutely true. Over the years of teaching literally thousands of students, I have found this to be the single best method for learning all of the notes on the entire fretboard. And in order to do it, there's really only two pieces of information that we need to know ahead of time. One of them is natural notes, the other is accidentals. So if you haven't come across those terms yet, natural notes literally just means A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Our musical alphabet only goes up to G, but natural notes refer to basically not sharps or flats, not accidentals. So A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And now accidentals, our other category, are exactly what I just mentioned. What the notes that are called sharps and flats. Sometimes people think of them as the in-between notes, the ones that fall in between the natural notes. They do that. But basically, it's just distinguishing two different types of notes. So natural notes, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and accidentals, your sharps and flats. Now, here's the rule that you guys all need to memorize. Burn this into your head. All natural notes are 2 frets apart, except for B to C and E to F. Got it? All natural notes are 2 frets apart, except for B to C and E to F. Now, let's put that to the test for a second. So let's start on the A string, because that one kind of makes the most sense as far as learning your notes in order, since it starts on the note A. So if I play my open A string, literally the note isn't here, but if you want to think of the notes as moving up the guitar, A is just the string open. Now if we follow that rule, that all of our natural notes are 2 frets apart, it's going to take 2 frets to get to B. So A is open, B is our 2nd fret. Based on our rule, B and C are back to back. So C is immediately at the 3rd fret. Then we continue. 2 frets to get to D, 2 frets to get to E. If we remember, E and F are back to back, so it's only 1 fret to get to F, then 2 frets to get to G, and 2 more frets, and you're back to A. And we're up at the 12th fret right now. And if you guys are relatively new to guitar, 12th fret is an important fret because it's essentially where your notes start over on a single string. So if your open string is A, your 12th fret is also A. They call that the octave of the note. So it's basically the same letter name, but a higher version of it. So if you've done this, you work your way up a string, and you get to the 12th fret, and the note is not the same as the one that you started with your open string, something's gone wrong. Go back and check it out. But again, let's walk through that one more time on the A string. So you've got open string is A, you've got 2 frets to get to B, 1 fret to get to C, because B and C were back to back, 2 frets to get to D, 2 frets to get to E, 1 fret to get to F, because E and F are also back to back, 2 frets to get to G, and 2 more frets, and you're back to A, which if we double check, we're at the 12th fret. Most of your guitars are going to have 2 dots at the 12th fret or something to differentiate and make it different. I've actually got my son's initials in there, so it's not the best example on this one, but again, it is different from the dots on the other frets. So most guitars will have double dots on your 12th fret to indicate that that's your octave, or that's where essentially the notes start over. Let's put this to the test on another string, just to make sure everything works. The other string that I would suggest everybody learn right off the bat would be your low E string. So now, when we play this string, we're not starting from A, obviously, because we're playing the E string. So our reference point is no longer an A, but an E. So if you think of your open string down here being E, right off the bat, our rule comes into play. So E and F are back to back, which means your F is going to fall right here at the 1st fret right away. So open is E, 1st fret is F, then it's going to be 2 frets to get to G, 2 frets to get to A, 2 frets to get to B. Going back to the rule, B and C are back to back, so it's only 1 fret to get to C, 2 frets to get to D, and 2 more frets to get to E. And we double check, I'm at the 12th fret, open E string, I got back to an E, things are looking good. So if you're just starting this out, honestly, I wouldn't even worry about learning all of your accidentals. I would worry about learning where all of your natural notes are on the neck. exactly what we just walked through. So the A string and the E string are great strings to learn on. Remembering that all of your natural notes are 2 frets apart, except for B and C and E and F. So basically, you're always jumping 2 frets unless you land on a B, in which case you go 1 fret to get to C, or you land on an E, in which case you go 1 fret to get to F. So on our low E, one more time, it's E, F, back to back, G, A, B, 1 fret to get to C, D, and then E. If we play it on the A string, open is A, 2 frets to get to B, B and C are back to back, D, E, 1 fret to get to F, G, and then A. This is going to apply to all of your strings. So go ahead on your own, give it a try, see how it works. Make sure when you get to the 12th fret, it's the same as the open string, but it's always going to function this way. It functions this way on guitar, functions this way on piano. Even if you don't play piano, if you look at piano, there's obviously white keys and black keys. So your black keys are your accidentals, and those separate the natural notes, which are your white keys. But every once in a while, you'll notice you have 2 white keys back to back. That's either B and C or E and F, depending on where you are on the piano. So this rule holds and applies for all instruments, not just guitar, but it is an important one to learn for guitar. Finally, real quick before we wrap up, if you're interested in what the accidentals do, sharps, which basically look like a tic-tac-toe board or a number sign or hashtag, whatever you prefer, that simply means higher. So what it means is if a note is called a sharp, it's 1 fret higher than its natural counterpart. And the flat, which looks like a little b, that's basically just 1 fret lower. So sharp is higher, flat is lower. The only kind of bizarre thing that comes up from time to time is the fact that the in-between frets, or your accidentals, could be called 2 different things. And let's look at this real quick here on the low E string. So we had decided before that our first fret was F, and we knew we had to go 2 frets to get to G at the 3rd fret. So we've skipped over the 2nd fret for now. Now, talking about what we just mentioned, sharps are higher, flats are lower. So we know that that 2nd fret is going to be an accidental, either a sharp or a flat. But it kind of gives us a little bit of an issue because it's 1 fret higher than F, so you could call it F sharp, or it's also 1 fret lower than G, so you could call it G flat. And in truth, both of those are 100% correct. So you can call it F sharp, you can call it G flat. There are times where you're going to want to use one versus the other. Generally speaking, if you're using sharps in a song, you want to stick with sharps. If you're using flats, you want to stick with flats. But for now, for learning purposes, just be aware that there are 2 names. They call them enharmonic equivalents for all you music nerds at home. And basically, it's the exact same note. So if I play that 2nd fret, that is both an F sharp, because it's 1 higher than F, and a G flat, because it's 1 lower than G. All right, so now that we've gone through all that, let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to leave them in the comments. Let me know if there's anything else you either don't understand about this topic or you want me to get into it in a little more depth in another video. But yeah, just for now, remember the big rule, and it's really the only thing you have to know. All natural notes are 2 frets apart, except for B to C and E and F. Those are back to back. If you remember that, you guys are good to go for learning every single note on your fretboard. So get at it, see how it goes, and I'll catch you next time.